Welcome back. Just a quick update for you. It's not nothing too amazing. I've just kind of had a bit of a rough week and failed on my Thursday challenge last week for the Area 51M Part 2 review. I'm actually in the middle of shooting it right now. And I've had so many people in the comments over the last few videos, and even some from a little bit way back, asking kind of how I put the videos together and, you know, what I get up to behind the scenes. So I've got a bit of news as well, some things that have been happening I wanted to keep you updated with. So I thought, you know, better opportunity. A little bit like my rambling repairs type thing, but this is like just a rambling kind of while I'm doing stuff. But basically what it is I've got a little segment that I need to do. I'm about 90% finished on the Area 51M Alienware Part 2 review. Got a couple of few shots I need to get. One of them being, because I've got the 4 screens set up with the all running from the Alienware now, I've done a little bit in the review video showing all the connections of how I've got the 4 screens working together. And there's a bit in it where I'm talking about the HD TV plugged in, and so I'm just shooting a bit of B-roll where, you know, ideally you don't really want to do like I'm doing now, where you've got like a static shot and you've just got no changes or anything. You know, you need to sort of break up the pattern a bit. So I tend to shoot a bit of B-roll afterwards. So on this occasion I'm just going to do a quick sort of little dolly shot just across the TV there, and I'll throw that in over the top of when I'm talking about the HD TV. So only needs to be about 3 or 4 seconds long, but I thought I'd let you join me while I'm getting that done, or at least set up. And yeah, so it's been a bit of a crazy week. I had fire brigade had to come out because a neighbour over the way there decided to have a humongous fire, which was just craziness. Anyway, everyone thought that the whole street was burning down, so fire engines turned up. And the geezer who made the fire in his garden was basically out the front of his house just mowing the lawn like nothing was happening. It's like, wow. But anyway, and I was right in the middle of trying to film the Alienware review at the time, so that was interesting. And but yeah, so been a bit of a hectic week. I've been, you know, getting quite a few bits and pieces together for the review video. I've got a video coming up as well Thursday night. I think I'm going to be doing like a kind of fly on the wall chat with me and a fellow YouTuber, Maverick Star Reloaded, who I've known for quite a while. He's sort of grown his channel. He's done a really good job, and I've sort of like known him since quite early back in the days, really, and we've sort of got on quite well. And his channel's about the pole shift, you know, like the magnetosphere on Earth is fading quite rapidly and the poles are moving, and so he sort of, you know, talks about that quite a lot. And I used to talk about that quite a lot back in the day when I used to have a radio show in America, talking about geophysics and solar physics, you know, that kind of stuff, and like apocalyptic events and these sorts of things. And of course, you know, I do all the SHTF, and I've got my bug out bag and review on that I've got to do, of course, on the bushcraft stuff. So I've got quite a few things coming at me from quite a few different directions, but I'm hoping it's all going to be good, all going to be good for you. So yeah, got a few things. Right, Dolly Track. So the dolly shot here, it's just me, by the way, in case you're wondering. I have no team, I have no staff, I have nothing. So everything you see is whatever I can rustle up on my own, right? And that includes my dolly. I've made this actually, it's a DIY job, just for mounting the camera on, and then you can do a nice sort of nice glide. I designed this around some very long, kind of 5 meter long, I think they're 3 meter long actually, but I can join them together. Like they're almost like curtain poles, but they're chrome, really smooth. Designed some sleepers, so it's like train tracks. And then this has essentially got inline skating wheels. And obviously I've mounted these in a way that can just sit on and then glide along the poles. It's really, really quite effective. It's much better than spending about 10 grand on a proper one. And but no, I get some good results from that. And in fact, in here, because the floor is quite nice and flat, I don't even really need the poles. I can get away with just literally rolling it on the floor, which is quite convenient. So it's does all right. She's a slipping and a sliding. So that's the plan. And we'll be getting the tripod mounted on there, and then I can do the shot across the HD TV there. This is the tripod that I use, a Monfrotto, and it has my main camera, which is this one. This is my Sony XD-Cam EX1. It's quite old now, but she's still going like a good one. It's my babe, and in fact, I mean, I bought that when I started my media company back in the day, when me and my wife were living in Cyprus, and we lived in Thailand before that, and yeah, so that was what I bought for that, and I had some inheritance money, and literally spent it all on that because I wanted to get more into video when I was doing, you know, more web design and online business sort of marketing and things like that. And I could kind of see that the web was going more along the video route. This is about 2005, I'm talking about. So yeah, and I sort of re-engineered the business, if you like, into be more sort of video production side of stuff. And that's how it started, really. I've got a whole sequence of videos I'd planned to do about some of those sorts of things. You know, I kind of learned a reasonable amount along the way with traveling around the world and, you know, starting businesses and things like that. Some failed, some didn't, you know, but it's more about what you learn along the way. So it's been interesting. And now obviously, you know, I'm looking to build the Andology channel. I've helped so many of my clients build their YouTube channels. That's kind of one of the things that I do. And I've never really sort of focused on my own one. I've got other channels as well, but I kind of like scrapped all that, and I'm sort of consolidating now down into just my single personal Andology channel. So that's kind of what's happening really long term. And so this year I'm really focusing on growing the Andology channel with your help. So I really appreciate you guys. It's been a fabulous time, the last sort of 4 months really, that I've been starting to push it a bit more. And like I say, I was trying to commit to having a video every week, but I'm spending an awful lot of time making each video. But I think the reason being is it's just, I'd rather spend a week making a video, making sure that every minute of that video is as sort of interesting and as value-filled as I can make it, rather than just banging out a video every day that's nonsense and no one really cares about. So I'll find that balance. You know, it's very important to find that balance. It's easy for me to consult with my clients and telling them how they should make their videos, but it's, you know, and some tricks and stuff like that. But when you're doing your own stuff, it's very different. It's like, do as I say, not as I do, yeah? So anyway, let's crack on. So this is my Monfrotto tripod, and the way I designed the dolly is I removed this foot spreader, and on the actual dolly here, I've just used as basically bungees, yeah, which is where the tripod clips into. There's holes here where there's spikes on the bottom of the tripod legs, which is if you're using it, you know, sort of on grass or something like that. You can flip off the foot spreader, and then it will dig into the grass basically. But instead of that, I'm going to be popping it into the dolly. And the other thing as well is you shouldn't really, you see where I've got this single pole here, you wouldn't usually use a tripod like that. I had this set up for something else earlier on. But you'd always use your fat legs first, not the small legs. But nothing majorly formal today. Like I say, I'm a bit disappointed I didn't get that video done in time, but like I say, I had some unexpected anomalies. It took me much longer than I thought as well to set the Area 51M up with all the software and programs that I need to have on it. So that took a bit longer than normal. But, you know, like I say, I'm about 90% of the way there. Got a couple of clips left to do, and I should be able to sort of cut that up into the edit, and then you'll see that in the next sort of 48 hours, I hope. So this is it, look. So what we'll do is we'll lower these lower legs down, and you'll see what I mean about you shouldn't really use it like this. They're the last ones that you'd use if you can't get the height, and we don't need to be too high, so we'll use these top legs, and it just gives it more support, look. Yeah. So we're going to be shooting this TV here, so we want to be maybe reasonably inline, perpendicular. The only thing I'm concerned about is the reflections of the window behind. So if I come up and go on a slightly downward angle, then we can avoid the reflections of the sunlight here. And at this time of the day, I get a reasonable amount of light coming in through the blinds here. So I have to be careful, because if I start shooting a scene and I've got certain light going on here, and then, you know, maybe I'll come to shoot another part of that a little bit later, you know, it's quite obvious that the light's changed. So I have to sort of be aware of that. But anyway, so got a spirit level here so we can make sure we're leveled up. And that's what I mean about using the legs like that. You can see it's far more sturdy. And the way I designed this platform is that it can take the whole weight of the tripod, yeah. And so it's very sturdy. And then we've got nice smooth. You can get that nice dolly shot. This is a fluid head, so the idea being is you can rotate it very, very smoothly. It's got like a fluid bearing in there, almost like a nice shock absorber sort of feel to it. It's nice, oil-filled shock. So that's gonna be that. This is my main camera, as I said, the EX1. Trusty, been all over the world with this, and still does really good. Doesn't do 4K or anything like you would sort of maybe look to do nowadays, but I just can't afford to really upgrade anything at the moment, which is why I make things like DIY dolly platforms, yeah. And so that's kind of how we're looking. And then we'll just loosen up this pan, and then that's going to be the kind of motion there. Should be good. And then what I'll probably do is, because again the reflections, I designed this Alienware background wallpaper because, to be honest, I had a look around for some wallpaper and it was just, I wasn't really that happy with it. So I came up with this thing with the red, and the idea is the red and the blues to match in what I've done with the keyboard RGB keys that I've set up now. Again, I'll probably touch on that a little bit more in the actual part 2 review video of the Area 51M. But no, I think the wallpaper came out nice. But with the dark coloured background on the HD screen, you're just going to be getting even more kind of reflections than you need. So I'm planning on using my Andology logo animation on that screen, and if I time it right, then I should be able to, and I'll perhaps let you see some of this footage when I cut it out. But the idea of this video, you see, was to try and get me to, yeah, you see, having the lighter coloured imagery going on the screen there sort of reduces the amount of reflectivity you get. So that's working quite well. Because of course the problem with doing a shot like this is, you trying to stay out of the reflections, which is why, a little bit of an industry trick. That's why I always wear sort of, when I do the video, I always wear a black shirt. And one of the reasons being is that I'm just sort of used to, if I'm going to see a client and I'm doing like a little video segment for them, then, I always wear the black with the black because I don't see myself in the reflections so much. If you're wearing sort of bright colours, you can pick someone out in a reflection of a window or something random in the background that, it's obviously my job to try and find little things like that, can be a gotcha when you're sitting down there trying to edit the video and it's like, oh no, look, there's like me in the window, or there's like that, one of the screen talent sort of like reflecting off a monitor or something. So that's the plan. I'm going to sort of pull a shot like that maybe. Should look all right. And I can then feed that in over the top of the bit in the video where I'm talking about how I've got it connected up with the display ports, the HDMI and some things like that. So yeah, it's been a bit of a long week, and I think part of what this video is about is to sort of crack out of that thing where I'm literally shooting this on my iPad, so I'm not using my big camera for this. I'm not going to do any editing. It's just like bish bosh bash, get it up there, just to obviously give you the heads up about the fact that the part 2 review video going to be a little bit later than I wanted it to, but it has turned into a little bit more of a monster than I thought it was going to. But I'm hoping it'll be a good one. There's some good information in there, so I'm really looking forward to bringing it to you, as much as I hope you're looking forward to it coming as well. Loads of stuff coming up. Like I say, I've got the this podcast thing with Gene on Thursday, so I'll maybe try and get that up there on Friday for you guys. It might be something in there you're interested in, so it'll be like a fly on the wall chat, and we'll be talking about some bits and pieces. I'm supposed to be doing a rebranding job for him as well on his channel. It's quite interesting actually. I might actually kind of do a video about that to help other people who are sort of, you know, I've spent many years in sort of branding and logo design and things, and helping people with their businesses. And so there's quite a few things along that kind of line that I can, you know, bring a lot of value to a lot of the right people. But it's just obviously working out a priority of what videos are coming out when. I've got the FPV antenna tracker teardown, which I'm absolutely every day. It's like doing that tomorrow, doing that tomorrow, doing that tomorrow. I've got my bug out bag for SHTF, which again is part of what we were talking about on Thursday night with things like grid down scenarios. You know, we'll be talking about the geophysics and some of the things that are going on at the moment, like I say, with the magnetosphere collapsing, with things like the mini ice age on its way. There's a lot of things coming up. So definitely, you know, if you're interested in that kind of thing, that'll be a good chat. Be great to have you along for that. But anyway, so I just wanted to give you a quick update. That's basically what's going on. Like I say, been a bit of a crazy week with things like the fire brigade coming out, and I've had a bit of analysis paralysis kind of going on as well. So I'm hoping I can just bust out of that, get a video done, upload it, don't even think about it, don't worry about it, do it, get it done, and then obviously just keep you guys up to speed with what's going on. And so yeah, like I say, I have quite a few comments of people looking to find out a little bit more about how I put these videos together. I haven't really given you much information today, but it was just like more of an introduction as to kind of what I've been up to, what I'm doing today, and to let you know that don't worry, next video is coming up super soon. Just taking me a little bit longer to put together than I thought. But in the meantime, I really appreciate it. If you've made it till the end, you know, thank you very much. And for those that are still here, I really look forward to catching you in the next one. So thanks a lot. Anything you know you want to know about particularly, please let me know in the comments. I love chatting to you in the comments. It's you know, I've got a great time. It's quite a social thing for me. I quite enjoy it. Some great people, some great ideas. So you know, that could be you as well. So anything you want to ask me, if there's anything more you want to know more about than particularly with the video side of stuff, you know, please please just let me know in the comments, and I'll be straight in there replying back to you. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks a lot.
Please like, share and subscribe.